In the heart of a bustling city, hidden away from the noise and chaos, was a small café that seemed to exist in its own world. The soft clinking of cups, the low hum of conversations, and the gentle patter of rain against the windows created a calming atmosphere where patrons could escape for a brief moment. For Maya, this café had become a sanctuary, a place where she could unwind after long days of managing her successful career as a creative director at a boutique marketing agency. Maya sat in her usual corner by the window, her laptop open, but her thoughts were elsewhere. She was a regular here, often spending her evenings with a cup of tea and her thoughts. But tonight something caught her attention. The young waiter, Alex, who usually served her with a bright smile, moved with an unusual weariness. His steps were slower, his eyes heavy with exhaustion. He had been working at the cafe for a while, always polite, always efficient, but tonight something was different. Alex had dreams once. He wanted to be an artist, but life had a way of drowning dreams with bills and responsibilities. His rent was overdue. His second job barely covered his living expenses, and his passion for art, which had once fueled him, now felt like a distant memory. As he served Maya's tea, she noticed the subtle signs of strain. The slight droop of his shoulders, the tightness in his jaw. Something was weighing him down. After paying her bill, Maya lingered for a moment. The total was $14, but she reached into her wallet and pulled out a crisp $100 bill. Instead of simply leaving the money, she paused, grabbed a napkin, and scribbled a quick note. "I don't know what you're facing, but don't give up. Better days are ahead." She tucked the note under the tip, grabbed her coat, and stepped out into the rain, her mind already drifting to the next task on her endless to-do list. But for Alex, that note was everything. Later that night, as Alex cleaned up, he found the folded napkin under the bill. His eyes widened when he saw the amount, but it was the message that truly struck him. He hadn't expected kindness from anyone, let alone a customer who barely knew him. For the first time in weeks, he felt seen, not as a waiter, but as a person struggling through life. He carefully folded the napkin and tucked it into his apron, a small flame of hope reigniting within him. The following day, Maya returned to the cafe, not thinking much about the previous night's gesture. She ordered her usual tea, opened her laptop, and prepared to dive into work. But when Alex brought her order, she noticed something beside her cup, a small envelope. Curiosity piqued. She set her work aside and opened it. Inside was a beautifully hand-drawn sketch of the cafe at night, the details so precise, the atmosphere so perfectly captured that it took her breath away. At the bottom, in neat handwriting, were the words, "Thank you for reminding me why I started." Maya's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't expected this, a simple thank you maybe, but certainly not a piece of art this beautiful. She looked up at Alex, who was nervously clearing a nearby table. "Did you draw this?" she asked, holding up the sketch. Alex nodded, a little embarrassed, but clearly proud of his work. "Yeah, I haven't drawn in a long time, but your note reminded me of why I shouldn't have stopped." Maya smiled, her mind racing. She had an eye for talent, and Alex's work was exceptional. "This is amazing," she said, still admiring the sketch. "You've got real talent." "Thanks," Alex replied with a shrug. "I used to draw all the time, but life got in the way." Maya leaned in slightly, her curiosity growing. "Have you ever thought about doing something with your art? Like really pursuing it?" Alex shook his head. "Not in a long time. I'm not sure anyone would even be interested." Maya felt a familiar spark of inspiration. "I think you'd be surprised. If you ever want to explore that side of yourself again, let me know. I might have a few ideas." A few days passed, and Maya couldn't shake the thought of Alex's artwork. She had shown the sketch to her colleagues at work, all of whom were equally impressed. In the middle of a brainstorming session for a new campaign promoting local artists, an idea struck her. They were looking for something fresh, something authentic, and Alex's raw talent was exactly what the campaign needed. That evening, Maya returned to the cafe, determination in her eyes. When Alex approached her table, she wasted no time. "I have an opportunity for you," she said, her voice filled with excitement. Alex looked confused. "An opportunity?" Maya leaned in. I work for a marketing agency, and we're launching a campaign that supports local artists. Your style is exactly what we're looking for. Would you be interested in collaborating? For a moment, Alex was stunned. The idea of someone wanting his art for something professional felt surreal. Are you serious? He asked, still processing her offer. Absolutely, Maya said confidently. You got something special. I wouldn't be offering it if I didn't believe that. Doubt flickered across Alex's face. I haven't done anything like this in years. What if I'm not good enough? Maya shook her head. You are good enough. I've worked with a lot of artists, and trust me, you've got something real. After a long pause, Alex nodded, a nervous but hopeful smile crossing his face. Okay, let's do it. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Alex poured himself into the project, rediscovering his passion for art with every sketch. Maya guided him through the process, offering support and feedback, but giving him the freedom to let his creativity shine. The more he worked, the more confident he became, and soon, his doubts began to fade. The night of the campaign launch arrived, and as the final pieces of Alex's artwork were revealed, the audience was captivated. The room buzzed with excitement, and Alex stood beside Maya, his heart pounding as people admired his work. For the first time in years, he felt like he was doing something that truly mattered. As the evening came to a close, Maya turned to Alex with a proud smile. This is just the beginning, she whispered. You have no idea how far this could take you. Alex's heart swelled with pride. He had started this journey as a struggling waiter, but now, standing here in a room full of people who saw him as an artist, he realized he was at the beginning of something extraordinary. Where this new chapter would lead, he didn't know, but for the first time in a long time, he was ready to find out.